My parents' dog has the most FOMO I have ever seen in my entire life. Like, you cannot even give someone a hug because she needs to be a part of the hug. I've definitely gone through my fair share of FOMO in life. I definitely still do, right? And I think it impacts me a little bit less than it used to because of one thing that I have really started to practice in my life, and that is gratitude. Gratitude towards what you have in the current moment. So again, I've talked about this before, and I will talk about it again, and I will probably continue to for the rest of my life. Being offline can really help us remember what is going on in the present moment and what we have. Being online can sometimes make us feel like we need this, we need that, we need more, we need to look a certain way, we need to feel a certain way, all these different things. I'm not saying being online is bad. You are online right now if you are listening or watching to this, right? But there can be a fine line. So when you're offline, you're able to realize what's going on in the present moment. And you're able to be grateful for what you have in the current moment. And that to me is how you can combat FOMO. Even if it's a little bit hard, it can make it just a little bit better. In case people don't know, FOMO is the fear of missing out. Basically, you are, at home because you are, I don't know, the reason you're at home and all your friends are out and having fun and you wish you were there, but you weren't. And it's that fear of missing out right there. Or a lot of times things like gossip, drama, negativity can come up from that because it's like everyone is involved in it. And there's that fear of not being involved. You're not cool because you're not involved, right? And then everyone gets involved and then it snowballs, right? That's FOMO. And it doesn't just have to be about negativity, right? It can just be like my dog. She wants a hug. We all want hugs. And someone else is getting a hug and she's not getting a hug. She wants a hug, right? Like, you know what? If you're going to have FOMO about something, let hugs be it. And by being offline and by practicing gratitude, it's able to reverse that a little bit. First off, just being offline in general, like, well, if you're offline, you don't even know what's going on. I mean, a lot of what we see, a lot of where FOMO can come from is because we see what's going on that we're not at, right? So that itself can do something. But a lot of times you're going to hear about it. I can very clearly remember being in like middle school or high school and it was like, oh, everyone all went out to this thing, or tennis. Actually, when I was in tennis, everyone would go to this tennis camp and it was really expensive and my family couldn't afford it. But I was always so jealous because I wanted to be there, right? Everyone got to go and I didn't. Different things like that. And you hear about it. Sometimes no matter what you do, you hear about it. And that's where the practice of gratitude can come in to play, because if you are seeing what you currently have in your life and the things that you're grateful for, you're telling yourself you have enough, that you are enough. And you're telling yourself, you are being thankful for what you have instead of feeling like you need more, feeling like you need something else. And that can be a really powerful thing because really FOMO comes from the idea of feeling like you need more sometimes, or feeling like you don't have enough or you are not enough. And by spending time with yourself, by spending time having gratitude for who you are, how you feel, what you have, the things in your life, the people in your life, the experiences in your life, you are filling up your own cup. You're filling up your heart. Like when I practice gratitude, it reminds me how full my heart is. And it's like, I cannot fit more in there or else it will burst, right? Sometimes that's what it feels like. It doesn't make it go away. It doesn't necessarily make the FOMO go away. It doesn't necessarily make, maybe there is something that you really do want. It's not bad to want something or to need something. Maybe it's something you genuinely need, right? And in that case, but it's important to realize why you might want something. It's not bad to want something, but why is it that you want it? Is it something that's actually going to benefit you? Is it something that you've been wanting for a while? Is it something that has its, benefits, is going to do something positive for you? Or is it something that you feel like you should want because everyone else wants it or has it? Is it something that you feel like you should want because everyone tells you you should want it? This can be a physical thing, like you're going out and buying something. It can be a thought process. It can be being involved in something. It can be how you look. Like, these things, they can take place in so many different ways. But I guess, at least for me, it is a constant battle in my brain to figure out when I want something, or when I'm feeling like I'm missing out or something, or I feel like I need something now. Why is it? Like, is it because I actually truly want it? Is it because it's actually going to do something for me? Or is it because I feel like I should, or I've been told that I should, right? I think about it in terms of, I remember being little and go to like a state park or something, and there'd be the gift shops afterwards. And it would be like, there's so many new things, the novelty, like as a little kid, like I wanted it all. And I'd get something and I'd go home. I'd maybe play with it, be excited about it for an hour, and then it would sit there on a shelf in my room, like accumulating dust, until 5-10 years later, I'm going through my room and I realize, why do I even have this? Where did I get it from? Have I ever even used it? And I end up getting rid of it or donating it or whatever. I wanted it because maybe my friends were getting it, or maybe because it was there and I felt like I should have it, that novelty, right? And so it's important to ask yourself. I was at one point when I started to, like, every so often I had like $1 to my name or something, right? When I was little, from, I don't know, helping out with a chore that my mom needed extra help with or something, right? Every so often I'd have like a few dollars to my name. And if I wanted something, my mom started telling me, like, okay, if you want it, you can contribute your dollar, what you have, towards buying it. And she was teaching me about money, right? But she was also teaching me the process of really thinking through before making a decision of something, and being like, okay, why? And is it the right decision? And like all of these different things here. She's really teaching me to, think about it and think about why I wanted it. So the next time that we went to a state park or something, maybe all my friends or the people around me were getting all of these different things. And for me, I knew I had this $1 to my name. And if I wanted something, I would have to contribute that dollar, and then I wouldn't have it anymore. And I would think about it and be like, okay, is there anything here that I'm actually going to, I'd be like, am I going to use it again? Is it worth putting that tiny bit that I have towards it? Is it going to bring me more joy than something else could with this $1? And on one hand, I ended up just like not spending my money. And then, and that's kind of how I am right now too. And I actually need to learn how to allow myself to spend money for my needs, because sometimes I don't. Like, oh, I need lunch right now, but I don't want to spend money, so I just won't eat. And then, my mom finds out about it later and is like, what? Why didn't you buy, I need to work on that. But ultimately, that practice taught me to think through things a little bit more, and to be grateful for the things that I did have, because they were all there because they had some true meaning to me. I have embraced a lot of minimalism lately, especially, I was living in the dorms for a while, now I'm in an apartment, right? And like, I don't really want a big house someday, maybe I will, but because I like the idea of having just a few things that really mean a lot to you. And that's part of the practice of gratitude for me. It doesn't need to be, but for me, I've found that I am able to be more grateful for what I have when I'm not overwhelmed by an immense amount of things. And that practice of gratitude and realizing what you have, instead of, it can help you not feel like you need as much. So those two things of like gratitude can really combat FOMO, and it can also help you think through and realize, okay, why? Really ask yourself that question of, is it going to bring me joy? Is it something that in X amount of years I am still going to be using, and it's still going to be something that I am truly grateful for, that it's providing something for me, right? And that is with physical things, but it can work with events, situations too, like realizing in the long run, thinking through when you make a decision of being like, hey, I can choose to either go out tonight or stay in. What is going to provide me the most benefit in the long run? Maybe I've been super busy this week and I just need time off. Or maybe I have, been really missing being out with my friends and I want to go out, like what's going to provide me the most benefit? And so being, aware of the things and the experiences that you have and being conscientious about those, and then being grateful for it, putting yourself in that decision completely, being like, I made this decision and this is, like you can maybe change it, but like, being grateful for what you do have, that you have that time to spend inside, spend at home, focusing, kind of restarting a little bit, or that you have that time being out with your friends, like being able to be grateful for what you have in the current moment instead of feeling like you always made the wrong decision, or feeling like you need to make a different decision, or feeling like you're missing out. I think that can be really beneficial. I think that like breaking it down into pieces, breaking down FOMO into pieces of like, why is it that I even feel this way, can be really important, because there's multiple components to it. But I think that a practice of gratitude is a really good way to start. And at least in my own life, I have found that it is a great way to start. And to, anytime I realize that I'm maybe feeling a little bit overwhelmed by anything, I sit down and I allow myself to think of like, okay, where am I right now? And what do I have right now? And what is making me feel grateful in this current moment? And it can do so much for you. It can be so impactful for you. It can be so helpful for you. And I think that adopting that practice, at least for me, has been really, really helpful. I will see you guys next time. And actually, the next episode, there's going to be a little bit of something different. So I guess stay tuned for that. Yeah, I'll see you next time.